From one lady photographer to another one, Linda McCartney is a person that's been taking photographs for quite a few years now. Paula went to chat to Linda and have a look at some of her work.
Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile, even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun come shining through for you. Light up your face with gladness, hide every trace of sadness.
It's funny, I've always liked black and white better. I think it's because you can get a lot of tones, and I like it, you know, I don't really have reasons. And I think believe it or not, I think you find a lot of color in black and white. Mm. And it's nicer to print, it's easier to print.
You said in one of the interviews that you weren't very concerned with technicalities and you didn't use a light meter. Mm. Do you think that interferes with the pictures at all?
No, because I think you're so busy with light meters and setting things up and everything that you lose the moment. And for me, photographs are memories. I think everybody can take a picture and then they remember what they were like last year or the year before.
Because another thing that was said was that you were lucky in a sense that all your memories were everybody's memories. Do you think that's true, though?
Not really, because I don't just take pictures of musicians. I take a lot. I take trees and leaves and sunsets and all the corny things that are part of life.
Are there any people you'd really like to have taken pictures of that you haven't, or that you won't get the chance to?
There are a few. It's funny, I can always think of them when I'm not speaking about it. You know, Bob Marley I would have liked to have photographed. Mm. And there are a few others, but heavens knows where they are now.
When you get, I mean, when you publish the books, and also while you were in Wings, you sort of have to spend an awful lot of your time justifying yourself. Well, in fact, you probably don't try now, even. But how do you feel about, like, when you were in Wings, they criticised you and said you weren't very good on the keyboards? Lies, lies.
Oh, not lies. True, true. But I was having fun. I bet they aren't having fun.
And then when you were taking the pictures, they often will try and say that it's because of the people you know that you can get a good picture. How do you feel about that kind of...
Well, I think everybody has a mouth, and these days, you know, the people are having a lovely time criticising everything, especially the people and the musicians and the artists. All the people I love get heavily criticised, so I'm quite flattered to be criticised. And anyway, I'm not too worried. You know, it's like teachers. They always told me off in school, said, oh, you know, she's always looking out the window daydreaming, could do better. So I'm quite used to it. I thought actually when I got a bit older it would stop, but, you know.
Do you think that... because you've had quite a big family. Mm. Do you think that that has in any way interfered with what you've done? Do you feel you've had to make lots of choices between...
Not really, because I'm not ambitious at all. I mean, I'd much rather be with kids or just with people or animals, whatever, than have adulation and go around the world in hotels. And so I'm not a career woman, so it's never been a problem. In fact, I think it's helped me. You know, it's added a lot of warmth to my life.
Light up your face with gladness, hide every trace of sadness. Although a tear may be ever so near, that's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you...
I like being married to Paul. I don't I don't mind it, actually, because people are so friendly. That's one advantage, mostly. And, you know, when you meet people on the street, they go, oh, aren't you Linda and how's Paul and all that. I don't like the journalists who sort of daggers in all the time. But as I say, that's the only problem with it.
In a lot of the photos in the book, like there's a picture of Ray Davies and things like that, people that you normally see leaping around, they look a bit drunk, actually. They all look incredibly relaxed. Do you think that's an effect you've had on the people you've been taking pictures of?
I think on some of them. Well, I'm like Jim Morrison once said to me, he said, I don't even know if I want you to take pictures of me because you tend to get behind the character, and my pictures of Jim are very relaxed. You'd never know that was the person everybody said, oh, he's crazy, because he wasn't. He was a really, really talented person who sort of got wrapped up in his image. I think it has something to do with it. Ray Davies, though, was after a Top of the Pops thing, and I think he was just glad it was over.
So, do you think that you're seeing an entirely different side of them simply because you've got to be friends with them, and so they're more at ease?
I think well, let's face it, I'm not a press photographer, and also I'm a girl, which I think helps, you know, with men. I think they're so used to men photographers who, I don't use a flash, you know, it's all natural light. And it's sort of an artistic thing for me, so I think it is more relaxing rather than, okay, stand here, smile, hold that beer, you know, that kind of thing. Because I did have, when I lived in New York, and I used to take my portfolio around, one art director said, oh, I want to see them shooting up, you know, I really want to see them down. And I said, forget it, you know, it's not what they're about anyway.
Do you ever get excited meeting people?
Yeah, sometimes.
Like,
I met the Queen recently, that was quite exciting. Yeah.
What did she say to you?
She actually was talking about the calendar. You know, I do a calendar of my photographs, and she said, I won't imitate her accent, but she asked me if I sent them to her personally. You know, I was amazed. I suppose when she meets people, though, she has to look up all the history, but she said, oh, she really liked it and everything. And she said to somebody next to her, she's a very good photographer, you know, so I was a bit flattered.
God, you'd be able to have the royal seal on the next calendar.
Oh, I don't know.
I suppose you do.
I'll have to take some pictures of William, you know.
The royal baby calendar.
And I'll take your baby, and I'll have just all babies.
What are you going to be doing next? Do you think you'll be doing another book, or what kind of pictures do you plan to do?
I still take a lot of black and white. I'll always do that, but I have this camera here, which is a 10 by 8, and I've just started. That was good. Don't fall over. I've started a few years ago using that, and it's totally different because it's not spontaneous. You do have to set things up, and you can easily miss them.
What's the difference with a camera like that? Apart from the fact Graham just fell over it.
Yes, well, besides that, it's not simple. A 35mm camera is just focus, take your picture, the way I do it, you know. With this one, you do have to take a light meter. You have to get all of the bellows, you know, these are called bellows. You've got to get them all proper. You've got to get it all straight. All of this has to be even. I mean, I'm hopeless.
So do you think you might be doing more formal pictures?
Only with this, but not, I'll never be formal because I get uptight when I'm formal, you know. So I'll never be together, let's
You'll
put
be the
it that way.
sensitive artiste.
Oh, I'm very sensitive.
Now, you've been taking some pictures. There's one last thing I've got to ask you about, and that's the sheep. Because it is our common interest, sheep farmers together.
I love it.
And they're really lovely. Do you think that you like doing animal pictures? Because it is terribly unusual for people to it's very old-fashioned doing animals.
I mean, the photographers I love are old-fashioned photographers, and I mean, life is not old-fashioned, though, is it? I mean, sheep have been with us for many years, and I don't think of it as old-fashioned. I think it's more up-to-date than people trying to be new. And I love taking sheep, and I'll come take your sheep soon.
We'll have the family portraits of the sheep.
We'll put your sheep with our sheep and say, okay, smile, and they'll all go, bah.
Well, my sheep will have the shiny feet, because I'll have been polishing them.
That's right.
Thanks a lot. And
I'll
I'll speak to you
again.
Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile.
Well,
Well, for those of you who want to see Linda's exhibition, which I'm sure, having seen that, you all do, it's going to be going around the country over the next couple of weeks. At the moment, it's in Jarrow, and then it's going to be in Aberdeen. So what you have to do is keep your ears open, because no doubt it'll get lots and lots of press.
But of course, if you do live on Torbay, it makes it a bit tricky travelling up to Aberdeen to see a load of photographs. Well, was she pleasant, Linda McCartney?
She's charming.
Really?
Yes.
Sort of person you could share your life with, maybe? Well, Paul obviously.
Well, I would share my sheep with her.
Yeah. She has sheep then, does she?
Yes, because she's got a flock of sheep, and so have I. So between the two of us, we could start a whole new strain.
With my Wellington boots, we could really...
We could even more. We have more strain in that case.